into a phase where you recognize that your higher self is not separate from you, nor is it an external guide you must call upon. It is the deeper layer of your being that has always held the blueprint for your evolution. When you quiet the mind, you tune into this blueprint, and guidance arises from the resonance between your human experience and your soul's intention. This resonance becomes easier to feel as the inner barriers dissolve. You want to practice listening with your whole being rather than only with your mind. Feel into the impulses that arise, noticing the warmth, openness, or clarity that accompanies them. Trust that your higher self is guiding you toward the path of least resistance, the path of deepest alignment, and the path that supports your growth. As this bond strengthens, you may find yourself making decisions with greater ease. You may feel inspired to move in directions that previously felt uncertain, or you may feel gently redirected away from choices that once seemed appealing. You want to honor these shifts because they represent the synchronization between your human awareness and your soul stream. This larger part of you has always known the way forward, and now you are learning how to allow it to lead. Guidance becomes not something you seek, but something you live. You wake with a sense of direction. You move through your day with a sense of inner support. You feel accompanied, held, and aligned. This effortless guidance is the natural outcome of unity consciousness rising within you. And as you continue on this path, you will discover that the more you listen inwardly, the more gracefully your life unfolds. As the layers of inner separation continue to dissolve, you will find your relationship with the unknown shifting in ways that feel liberating. The collapse of duality removes the need for certainty, because certainty belongs to the mind, while expansion belongs to the soul. You want to embrace not knowing as fertile ground rather than risky terrain. The unknown becomes the place where new potentials arise, where fresh possibilities enter your field, and where your next step reveals itself through resonance rather than logic. When you release your attachment to predicting outcomes, you create room for the universe to move through you in ways the mind could never orchestrate. You want to soften your need to understand everything before you proceed, because your deeper guidance does not rely on mental clarity. It relies on inner trust. This phase invites you to shift from control into surrender, from analysis into presence. Asking God or Source for specific outcomes becomes unnecessary as you learn to allow God to reveal outcomes through the flow of your life. When you surrender the need to dictate how or when something should unfold, you discover that life unfolds more elegantly than you could have expected. The unknown no longer feels threatening because you begin to sense the intelligence that animates it. You understand that your inner source knows your needs before you articulate them, and this recognition releases the tension that once accompanied uncertainty. You begin to welcome the unknown as an ally rather than an adversary. As your fear of uncertainty dissolves, you feel a growing sense of freedom. You want to move through your life with an openness that allows inspiration to guide you, trusting that the path becomes clear when you take each step from presence rather than from fear. When you no longer rely on prediction, you tune into the subtle impulses of your intuition, and these impulses lead you toward experiences that reflect your highest alignment. You may notice that new opportunities arise without effort, or that challenges resolve themselves in unexpected ways. These are signs that you are letting go of the need to control life and allowing life to move through you. Fear dissolves when you recognize that you are supported by an intelligence that is far greater than your individual awareness. You want to cultivate this recognition through stillness, through breath, and through moments of conscious connection. When you tune inward, you feel the presence of your source, and this presence reassures you that you are never lost. You are always guided. You are always accompanied. As your trust deepens, the unknown becomes an invitation to explore rather than a burden to avoid. You begin to understand that the unknown is where expansion occurs, where growth happens, and where your highest potentials reside. This shift marks one of the most profound developments in your evolution, a willingness to walk forward without needing to see the entire path. As you embrace this new way of being, you align with the flow of your source, and life becomes a dance rather than a struggle. When your awareness expands, you may begin to feel the collective field with greater clarity. Thoughts, emotions, and subtle movements of energy within the collective may appear more visible to you, not because you are absorbing them, but because your sensitivity has increased. You want to understand that this transparency is not overload. It is the result of heightened perception. Your field is becoming more permeable, allowing you to sense the energetic landscape around you without becoming entangled in it. This sensitivity is a sign of growth, not weakness. You are learning how to navigate the collective without losing your center. As you remain connected to your inner source, you perceive the collective from a place of neutrality rather than from a place of identification. When you enter conscious union, you help uplift the collective without addressing individuals directly. You want to see that the true essence of spiritual healing lies in resonance, not effort. Your frequency communicates far more than your words ever could. When you hold yourself in alignment, you radiate coherence into the collective field, and this coherence gently influences others without your intervention. You may notice moments where the emotional charge of the collective feels stronger, or where you sense waves of thought patterns moving through the field. These experiences are not yours to fix, they are yours to witness from an aligned state. You want to approach these collective impressions with compassion and neutrality. When you remain grounded in your inner connection, you become aware that the collective field is simply mirroring the transitions humanity is moving through. You do not need to carry these energies, nor do you need to solve them. The collective heals through the coherence of individuals who maintain alignment within themselves. This is why your presence matters so deeply. You contribute to the collective not through effort or intervention, but through your willingness to stay connected to your source. During this energetic cycle, your ability to serve through frequency becomes amplified. You may notice that others feel calmer around you, or that conversations naturally move toward clarity when you are grounded. You may find that people seek you out instinctively, drawn to the stability in your field. These experiences confirm that your alignment creates space for others to soften into their own. You want to hold this awareness gently, without stepping into roles of responsibility that are not yours. Your role is to embody coherence, not to manage the emotions of others. When you operate from unity consciousness, you interact with the collective from a place of stability rather than from fear. You begin to understand that every individual is navigating their own process, and your task is simply to hold your frequency with consistency. This is how you serve during this period, by becoming an anchor point of clarity in a shifting field. Each moment you spend in alignment radiates into the collective, contributing to the transformation unfolding across your world.